Hey, wrestling fans, JC Styles of F and True Wrestling.
Brian Crazy, nice to see you guys.
We want to thank you all for checking out our Bound for Glory review, making it our #1 video since we started F and True Wrestling. 638 was the last time we checked. Brian, what do you have to say?
I mean, a lot of our singles videos haven't done too bad. A couple other reviews haven't done too bad, but since me and JC started F and True, a single review video hasn't been, this looked at on YouTube. And we just want to say thank you to all of our new subscribers, 13 since last night.
Also, our current subscribers, all 150 something of you.
Exactly. You know, guys, we're turning this F and True Wrestling thing into something, me and JC really couldn't have expected when we started. You know, we just wanted to give you guys our thoughts on wrestling. And now we're, I don't know, it's kind of becoming a big thing. And the more our fans, you guys, are involved, the bigger and better we'll become.
We're also trying to step our videos up a little bit because we know that a couple of big dogs aren't really making videos anymore, so it kind of opened up the door for us to try to get into the reviewing business and even, just ranting in front of the camera for a couple of minutes about something that we like to talk about.
And exactly, it's kind of like the big dogs were taking a little bit of the time away from us. And funny enough, these two unnamed gentlemen kind of disappeared off the YouTube scene in the last couple weeks, and it seems like our view count has started to go up. So, like we said, any new viewers, thanks a lot for checking us out. There's more to come.
And future viewers as well.
Exactly.
Our basis for this video today is, something that's been on me and Brian's mind for the last couple of weeks. We haven't really had time to sit down and do this video, but we figured tonight we could do it.
Well, you know what also changes the dynamic of this video also for everybody out there who's watching it, Bound for Glory. Because a lot of the things we probably would have talked about in this video got changed at Bound for Glory.
Yeah. There was rumored that there was Turning Point poster spoiled out on the internet, and there was speculation that Kurt Angle was supposed to pick up the strap last night, but then I guess they decided not to because then it would have went with the whole they angle. As we all know, that it was Jeff Hardy, Abyss, Jeff Jarrett, Eric Bischoff, and Hulk Hogan. For those who haven't seen our video,
please check it out.
Please check it out. It was one of our best videos. But pretty much, basically, the moral for this video was pushing.
Not just in TNA.
In any business.
WWE, ECW, WCW, the wrestling world as a whole. We're not looking at this as one company. We're looking at this as professional wrestling, going back from the early days to current.
Yeah, we've had so many good pushes over the years, and some people, some wrestlers today aren't being properly booked. Like Kofi Kingston, they spent a good time booking him against Orton, building him up just to just drop him.
I mean, he was even
push.
in the Elimination Chamber match.
No.
Well, he was booked for it, but remember who ran out? Edge ran out and took him out. But I mean, the guy was supposed to be in the main event. Exactly like what they did with John Morrison a couple weeks ago with that six-pack challenge. John Morrison, I thought we were going to see him in the main event, and then we get Jericho again. I love Jericho, don't get me wrong, but why push Morrison so much just to beat him back down? I mean, how do you think that makes him feel as a person? I'm so close, to that holy grail, but I can't ever get it because there's always somebody in my way.
Yeah, it's like I said in the past, there takes a lot to building a wrestler. I know that, but the fact is that you sit there and you spend a greater part of the year to build this guy up, just to have him not get the payoff he deserves at the pay-per-view. For a case in example, they spent almost the better part of this year building Mr. Anderson up. And last night, it looked like Mr. Anderson was finally going to get his shot to prove to all his successors, the people that said, "Hey, you know what? You're not going to amount to anything," and they had him job to Jeff Hardy. Now I know that had a lot to do with the whole they angle, but you went for the better half of the year to building Mr. Anderson up, and you finally give him his shot where he could get a title, and then you screw it up with this whole they angle.
Well, I think the same thing. I think they spent the whole year having Kurt Angle prove that he is the best in professional wrestling today. Then he gets, something smashed over his back, and there goes everything he's worked for. I have a feeling that Dixie is going to ask Kurt to stay and fight the good fight, but that is a different video in a different time. Another failed push. What happened with AJ Styles? I know he's with Fortune, and you could say that's part of his push, but I mean, this was the man that was carrying TNA. Samoa Joe, he was carrying TNA. I mean, there is a lot of talent that is not
being booked properly.
Being not just booked properly, that television title. Okay, you're trying to cement Fortune as the premier group in TNA right now. But it would be alright if AJ dropped the title. There was no title, and he was still the premier guy in Fortune. Who was supposed to be defended weekly, I thought was the whole basis of that title. And now it's just sitting around one wrestler's waist, just like the United States title in WWE.
Yeah, you sit there, like I said again, you spend all this time building all these stars and all these things, and then, you get stuck with seeing guys like AJ, or in the WWE you see guys like Orton and Sheamus and Big Show, Kane, Taker.
I mean, to be honest, I know you're a Miz fan, Joe, and I'm not trying to, this is nothing to get at you, but how long did Miz hold the United States title? I mean, honestly, there was no competition there. They did not... There was no dynamic. It wasn't what I was looking for in that mid card at the time.
They're spending all this time to build up Miz, and I have a feeling that the Miz is going to just be another disappointment. He's just going to be one of those guys who has his fingers on the grail, and then, but we're sorry, but we want to go and we want to give it to Sheamus because he's been really good the last couple of weeks,
Well, you gotta. This is also a legitimate point that I wanted to bring up in this video that I was just kind of waiting, for us to get to the right moment in it. It comes easier to some superstars than it does others. I mean, perfect example, when The Rock first joined the WWE, he was Rocky Maivia. He was not over. He wasn't over with that gimmick with anybody. Then he became, The Rock in the Nation. They were chanting, "Die, Rock, die." I mean, it took a while before The Rock became the People's Champion, then the Corporate Champion, and the People's Champion again to really cement his place and get over. Sheamus kind of came in from FCW, and instantaneously he was a star. He was a main event player.
He spent all this time building him up on ECW. Is the thing. They took time and effort on a show that didn't get a lot of viewers to build somebody as Sheamus. And I'm not. Don't get me wrong.
Talent came out of the new
don't
ECW.
Get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong.
Don't get me wrong. I don't knock Sheamus for what he's done. But the thing is, though, was he championship material? No. He definitely he kind of just got thrown in the mix just because of Jesse the Body Ventura was tired of seeing John Cena carrying the title. And that's another thing I gotta say is that the WWE has its focus around only so many wrestlers, and mainly one being John Cena. John Cena is not going to go forever. He's going to turn around one day and say, hey, you know what, I want to hang it up. And then what are we going to be stuck with? We're going to be stuck with the same position that we were 10 years ago. All the stars were leaving the business, and we had no stars being built.
And you can say whatever you want, but no one ever said Ric Flair was going to be in TNA. No one ever predicted Mick Foley would be in TNA. No one ever predicted Hulk Hogan, Eric Bischoff would be running TNA. I mean, you guys have to think that, you can have any preconceived perceptions about this world that you want. But guess what? If the money's there and the opportunity is right, we could see any of these stars in either one of these organizations. Easily enough.
To bring back to what I was saying just a couple of seconds ago, it's just that's what kind of aggravated me, because we had all these stars. We had Austin, Rock, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Kane, Taker. You had all these guys who they're giving all this TV time to, and it goes the same exact saying as they've been saying it in the business for years. I get more shower time than you get mic time. These guys, The Miz has great promos. He does need to build his game in the ring, but if you're gonna keep the title picture around somebody for a year,
Well,
what's the point?
It's like any business, though. I mean, a promoter feels a certain sense of loyalty to a athlete that has performed for him year in and year out. Yes, some of the legends are now lacking compared to how they used to perform 5 years ago. But you got a guy like Undertaker, who has been by Vince McMahon's side since 1990. Do you think Vince McMahon is willing to let that kind of talent go? Especially with the crowd he can draw. I mean, that's also something you have to look at. I mean, he has to look at, hey, I got to be able to bring people in. But in the same right, go back to 1999, and this is something I was telling JC Styles just yesterday. Every single person had an angle in 1999, even down to Crash Holly.
It was like with Christian. Christian spent all of this friggin' time building his character, his gimmick, his in-ring ability. He went over to TNA and was an instant star. He was instantly the main event. TNA is willing to
run the NWA heavyweight champion.
And then you have him over here on and then he leaves TNA to go back to where he first started, which was WWE, and Vince is not doing nothing properly with him. Well, this guy was former multi-time tag team champion. He was a European champion, Intercontinental champion, Hardcore champion. He was NWA champion. This guy has what it takes to carry the WWE for a little bit. But yet, I'll give you for instance. 2 years ago, they finally gave Jeff Hardy the title after how many years of being in the business? Where's Christian's push? Where's Matt Hardy's push?
And I don't even know.
They spent almost 2 years with a John Cena Edge feud over the WWE Championship, but yet no Christian. Christian was far more popular than Edge was with Edge and Christian. But again, WWE's failing to realize what wrestler Brian will represent TNA. I will represent WWE. WWE, I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna like and what I want to see, not what you want to see. TNA, we want to give what the fans want to see, and we will give you what you want to see as well as what we want to see.
Exactly.
WWE doesn't do that anymore. WWE doesn't say and go, hey, you know what, this guy's getting a good pop. Why don't we give him a push and see what he can do in there? Now it's all John Cena, Orton, Sheamus, Taker, Kane.
Well, to add a little commentary to what you just said, because we probably are running out of time on this video, Christian. I think Christian was purposely knocked down when he returned to the WWE to kind of show him, okay, you jumped ship, you went somewhere else, I'll let you come back, but this is what you're going to get. I think the best push Christian got in recent weeks is the feud with Alberto Del Rio.
And now he's hurt and he's on the shelf.
Exactly. Now he's hurt, he's on the shelf, he had surgery. Now he's going to be out approximately 6 months.
Yeah, we won't see him until after the Royal Rumble, next to the Royal Rumble, anywhere between the Royal Rumble and No Way Out.
Exactly, between Royal
Elimination
Rumble.
Chamber, I'm sorry.
Elimination Chamber. Well, No Way Out.
Oh, and that was another thing. I can understand that they changed No Way Out to Elimination Chamber because the fact is that they have 2 Elimination Chambers, but this is what they should have did.
This is like all the gimmick pay-per-views though. You had 2 Money in the Banks at a pay-per-view called Money in the Bank. You had 2 Hell in a Cells at a pay-per-view called Hell in a Cell. You had 2 Extreme Rules matches at a
Extreme Rules.
I mean, is this the current?
Is this the current MO of the wrestling business? Granted. And hold on, you have a pay-per-view with TNA called Lockdown, and what do? They lock all the wrestlers in every single one of their matches.
Even the women's match was the cage.
In a cage. WWE had a pay-per-view called No Way Out. No Way Out is a pay-per-view. What do you No Way Out of at a pay-per-view? If you have no matches to go with the name of the movie, I can understand if you're gonna have maybe 3-4 matches in a steel cage. Then I can kind of understand it. But this is the current MO of the state of wrestling.
Well, I think this is also something
gimmick pay-per-views.
Something that's also very important.
TNA's delivering with it.
In the late '90s, the WWE had to step up their game and do things that they wouldn't typically do. The hardcore driven style of wrestling, the whole attitude era, quote unquote. Now that they defeated WCW, defeated ECW, they felt comfortable with themselves. They returned to the PG era that we saw beforehand. If you guys don't remember, the likes of Bob Backlund in the Crossface Chicken Wing, the likes of Hulk Hogan that was the business, and that's what they've returned to. But guess what? They gave us something, and now they've taken it away.
You know, you have like I said, you have these gimmick matches, these gimmick pay-per-views. The best gimmick pay-per-view is Lockdown, and the reason why I say Lockdown is because it's something new, it's something fresh that we haven't seen. You know, you get 7 matches, all